Welcome to the Geeks 31 Days for Forever. This is Lil.
This is Steve.
And this is Sean.
And tonight we're reviewing a Hulu original, Mr. Crockett from 2024. So, we don't do our rating system anymore. Eventually, maybe we'll bring something back to do that. But Mr. Crockett was an interesting one. I think, Sean, you were the one who brought this one up.
I did. It took me forever to watch it, but
and then you brought it up to us, and then you made us wait like months.
I did. I'm sorry.
Weeks, but that's okay. So since you started, Sean,
no, I don't want to review this first. Yeah, give it. I want to go last.
You okay? All right, Steve, what did you think of Mr. Crockett?
I liked Mr. Crockett. Mr. Crockett it's a short movie. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. It's a pretty self-contained story. The acting was pretty good. It had some good practical effects, lots of cool puppetry, and some scary imagery. It was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was good. But it didn't like blow me away, but it was pretty good. Some of the Hulu originals have not been good. They've been like cheap and like poorly acted and just not good. This was good. This was a good movie. A good throwback. It felt older. It felt like a throwback, like a 90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was based in the 90s, but yeah. So what's your rating?
Yeah.
Oh, high sidekick.
Okay. All right. This to me is a mashup of Picture Pages, of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and Mr. Rodgers. It's like you got all those because you got the kids coming around, you got the Pee-wee's Playhouse with the puppets and the clock talking, the chair talking cherry and stuff, and then Picture Pages with Bill Cosby and he's drawing shit and it's coming alive, all that kind of shit. So I had some weird nostalgia for this.
I did.
In that vein, just because it was like, oh, this is kind of cool and like and kind of a Freddy sense in a way, right? Like this dude comes to life and and there's some scenes where I was just like, oh shit, like it's gotten real with this. Like even the opening scene where
scene was fucking crazy,
killing his dad. Yeah. I'm with you though, Steve. I give it a high sidekick.
Yeah, because it's been like 3 weeks since I've seen it. So like bear with me a minute. Sean, you're the most freshest on it. So we'll because I'm remembering now. I'm like, you're right. The opening scene was fucking awesome. And that bird in the fucking window was fucking so I'm remembering shit as we go.
Mind you, I was watching it and I was also fast forward and shit. I was kind of like trying to push through it really quick, but I was watching it. But there were some. I actually give this a very high sidekick. Like this was way better than I thought it was. Like I didn't think it was gonna be great, but then like the kills, like there were some good kills, and the puppetry, again, a little like you said, very Pee-wee Playhouse.
Oh man,
I kind of love this shit, to be honest. Like that
too.
When
Cherry bit that dude,
it was creepy to me, dog. Like this shit was creepy. It was like
really
fucking creepy to me.
There's an effect in this movie that I'm going to use in like future stuff for like artwork. Like I'm going to use it when the kids turn around and their eyes are the fucking static screens like you would get on the old CRTs. Yo, yes, that shit was great, and VHS played a big part in this movie. So
this had great elements. It had great elements in it, and to me, I mean, again, I enjoyed it, but it was creepy as fuck. Like because of the nostalgia of Bill Cosby, Picture Pages and Pee-wee's Playhouse and like all that kind of shit. It was creepy. It
all the shows.
There are times it gave me chills. I was like, oh.
All the shows we watched as kids, like that's what it was. It's like, imagine worst case scenario.
Yeah.
From a show like that, where the adult in that show is supposed to be our friend and everything goes whatever, and all the things that we're supposed to love and tell us to be caring and good people and stuff, like it's all twisted and morbid and all that kind of stuff. So like, yeah.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Before we get further,
and I say that shit creeped me the fuck out right now. Yo, I jumped. I literally jumped. I was, oh, shit. God damn it! I wasn't expecting it. God damn
it. That's what we try to do all the time. Always try to catch this off guard.
Fuck y'all for that, man. Yeah.
But like that's what I really enjoyed about this. It is very weird, and it kind of matches up. I know in our earlier show, Sean, you missed it when I was going down rabbit holes of weird children's shows. But this is messed up, and then when we get the story of what happened to Mr. Crockett in real life,
in the animated sequence,
the animated sequence where like charging cops and he's got a kid in his closet, and I'm like, this is really messed up. Like,
he took some of those cops out.
Yeah,
he did.
And I mean, that's why they had to shoot him down. I mean, like, that's it. Like,
I just love it's a black character. It's just as a horror figure, it's like Candyman kind of.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. He was kind of like he kind of had like a Freddy, thing, like when Freddy brings you down to the boiler room kind of feel, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it was different, and he was being very nice, and he had the kids under his control, and it reminded there were things that reminded me of that, like you're all my children now, kind of thing.
Well, I think that this is definitely an idea that can be explored more. Like, I'd like to see this with more, because I still don't know his power set, right?
Yeah, we don't.
I don't know all the rules. There's always rules, right? The rules need to be clearly defined, and even in some of the best franchises, Friday the 13th, there's rules, but are there? Like, the rule is that you can kill Jason, and that's how the movie will end. But he's going to come back. That's the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
The Nightmare on Elm Street rule is that Freddy can get you in your dreams, but if you can bring stuff into the dream with you, and you can also bring stuff from the dream into the real world back. There's some rules there.
Yeah.
But here it's like,
it wasn't defined yet.
Yeah, I don't know, because I felt like when the parents went in, it was a good twist too. Ooh, that was a good twist. The parents.
I read it from a mile away though, man.
I didn't. I didn't until they were in there, and I was like when they were in there, I was like, ooh. But up until that point, I hadn't. But I felt like he should have been way more powerful in there than he was. It felt like they went in there and fuck you on your own turf. You have all your monsters there, and I get that they took some of them out, but I don't feel like they should have been taken out so easily. I feel like you don't want to be in his domain. You don't want to go fight Freddy in the dream world. That's not good.
Yeah.
You need to bring him to the real world and try to shoot him or something.
But I do have to say, a couple, that opening sequence when he kidnapped, the kids beating, abusive father there, and father's mad about not eating. And we've all been there, right? We're not eating your greens, not eating your vegetables, not eating this, and the parents are getting mad at you. Sit at the table until you're done. You can't leave the table. All that kind of stuff.
No,
huh?
That doesn't exist here. We don't.
All right.
No, that's not a fight worth fighting. Here's your dinner. Go eat it.
Now I'm saying, but when we were kids.
Oh, when we were kids, yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying now.
Do you remember? You have your mom would be like if you don't eat this, you're gonna have this for breakfast. If you woke up, you had that shit for breakfast. Now, that would be the wildest thing I could ever do. That would not even be I would be laughed out of the house.
Yeah, right. You can't even do that shit. But yo, let's sit there for the rest of the night. It ain't gonna be there for the rest of it. Ain't gonna be. If it's there in the morning, you're gonna eat it. My kids look at me and they'll probably throw that shit away. Zoe, anyway. Zoe be like, I need that.
Yeah, that's what Alex does.
I'd be like, he's gonna be. You're gonna sleep sometime, old man. I'll just come down and eat when you're asleep.
Yeah, you're gonna be bored of this. I'll outlast you.
Yeah.
That's it.
They will,
and it's true because
I have to go
don't
to
want
work
to
eventually.
I don't feel like it. Like, I just don't feel like arguing no more. I'm done. Like, I'm like, I don't give a like. Okay, do you?
Oh, that's what the problem is now. We've just given up.
We've given up.
You know what? Fine. Sure. Just fucking do it.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, man.
Just go heat up a frozen pizza and get out of my face.
Yeah, please get the fuck out of my face. God, kids.
We're unpacking some shit here with this.
Yeah. It's mentally, this is like, oh, you guys like my psychiatrist.
It's like it does feel like that. Like you just be like, you try to be a good parent, and then like they just throw that shit in your face, and you're like, like wait a second, how am I the bad guy?
Yeah,
but we are, right?
Look at all this. None of this comes from you.
You don't pay any bills. Like, what the fuck?
It's funny you said. It's funny you say that too, because like Mia's already put on her Christmas list all the relatives and stuff for the car, for the van, for her car. She's already told everybody it's her car. And I'm like, what? you pay the insurance on this thing?
But you're gonna
fill with gas?
But you're gonna let her put it all.
Yeah, of course. But like that's the second part, right? Like, of course you have these thoughts, and you're like, oh no, but then they are appreciative in their own ways. You know what I mean? And you know what I always get to is my wife always tells me, it's like, yeah, but but like they don't have any idea what you're talking about, right? Like when I'm like, I would have killed to have all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, you would have with your terrible childhood. but like our childhood has been fucking sweet. So we wouldn't have killed for any of that shit.
It's true.
So like, because like we don't know all that bullshit that you had, like we didn't have none of that.
Just because we worked hard to make up for it and give them 10 times more of what we had.
And so we cultivated this. We cultivated it.
So going back to Mr. Crockett. So him feeding the guy his own shit.
That shit was crazy, dog.
Was nuts.
That shit was nuts.
Like you saw the guts, and I love that it was all practical. It wasn't CG.
Yeah.
It was practical. Mr. Crockett,
the chair was practical. It was cool.
Yeah. Holding him down. He loved it. Thought this opening scene. That's what I was like, oh, I'm in for something fun, something different. And yeah, there was the same old tropes, and man, like that kid, the main kid we were following and stuff, like how he was treating his mom after his dad died. I was just like, man, come on now. Like, but again, I don't know. I'd never lived that life.
That's how it be though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never lived that life. I'm mad because I'm like, man, how you gonna treat your mom like that? But then it's like,
I'll be though a little like on my side, it's like that,
But it's the same thing there too. Like he's lashing out, doing whatever, and she's giving up. She's like, I can't deal with it anymore. You do whatever you're gonna do. You're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. She pops in the videotape, just to keep him calm. And like he's watching the same video over and over again, like a trance.
Yeah, but
in there too.
Did you remember? Man.
We did that. I know.
We didn't have Netflix. We didn't have YouTube. We had whatever tapes your parents had on that shelf.
Exactly.
And I had favorites. You know how many times I watched Men in Black on VHS? You know how many times? That was like the best movie to go to sleep to. I would put that on almost every night. You could fall asleep before the credits even stopped.
How many times I watched the same Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends videotape because that's all we had to watch at that moment. That's it.
The Disney movies just in constant rotation.
Yeah, or whatever was recorded off of HBO at the time. Like Bible or some shit. Like,
you'd get tapes from like your friend's house that had like 3 movies on them. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the story goes is that Mr. Crockett comes out of the TV whenever a child is being abused in some way. So like we get another girl whose dad's a druggie, and
as long as they have the tape, he doesn't just go everywhere.
Yeah, right. Well, the tape gets delivered. The tape gets secretly delivered somehow. Mr. Crockett somehow knows to send the tape. right? Because all these
that's what
tape.
because I like the rule of they have the tape, and that's how Mr. Crockett can kind of see what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I want the story of how they get the tape. Yeah.
Where
does the tape come from? Like, what's
and
the
we
tape?
Didn't know. And remember, we met that one lady who was crazy, who tried to steal the kid from the funeral.
Right.
We didn't know what the hell was going on with her. I was like, oh, well, I wonder if she's working with him, but then she wants to protect him. You know, so it's like, you know, what does she know? I thought she maybe wasn't a mom, but maybe was a child that was abused or something by him. Yeah. So, but again, how is she seeing all this? You know what I mean? Like she has that
fucking like
there's all those TVs and shit. Yeah. It was very bizarre. Like you said,
that
Steve,
could be. I was making up a whole movie in my head about the tape just now for the last couple minutes. Like, it would be awesome if it was like a cursed tape almost, you know, and like these people had it, and then that crazy shit happened. Yeah. They all died, and then like their house, what happens to all their shit? Like, it's gonna get boxed up, it's gonna get sold off, or now this tape is at a thrift store somewhere. Somebody fucking grabs it in a lot or whatever, and now it's in there, and they put it in. They're like,
I like that. I like that.
Then, you know, then you could follow the tape around. There could be ways, and if this all takes place in the 90s, then you wouldn't have a problem. Like, you could
I agree.
Steve, that's the Ring.
True.
That's the Ring in a sense, right? But this is the Ring for kids.
Yeah, but okay, fine. But like, do it better. And like, I like this. Like, you're mixing the Ring with Freddy Krueger and Mr. Rodgers in Pee-wee's Playhouse. I think that's a cool mashup that could work really well. Yeah, I don't know how else this tape, because it's not multiple tapes, or is it multiple?
It has to be multiple tapes because
it's multiple cursed tapes. Who's the guy on the fucking basket bike riding around delivering these fucking tapes? It's either that or it's the guy from fucking Ghostbusters 2. You know, who is it?
It's a good question. I have no idea. We never got that answer.
I need it.
Maybe the sequel will tell us that.
0.
Yeah, it's not a 0 because it was still fun. You know, like she's like we don't get anything until like we meet Alex, and they somehow end up following him into.
Well, yeah. So the main kid that we're following here, he gets taken by Mr. Crockett. The mom is like, oh my god, we gotta figure it out. Yeah. And then she meets up with this Alex guy, and that is, he had a daughter who was taken, or
supposedly.
And well, no, we don't. For all we know, because there's a bunch of other kids there with the other kid that got taken. So it's like, sure, she's one of them. But yeah, that's the twist that comes, is like once they get down into their layer world somehow. Like, I don't like that. Like, they just kind of go in. Like, did they find the marker or something? Was there like a Harold and his purple pen? How did they get in there? I forget. It's been a minute.
No, remember the TV lady, like he came through the TV. I think he was watching, and then like he came to the house. So
he opened the gateway.
Yeah, he opened the gate. Yeah,
and they just went through it.
Dude, you know part fucking creeped me out when the puppet went like this. He looked at the screen. I was like, oh shit. Like, that shit fucked me up, because it was just like, it looks weird. It looks like it's really looking at you.
It got kind of silly though. Like, I did like the bird puppet in the window when it like flashed and it was all bloody and, you know, monster.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. But like, you know, it's like the Teletubbies have the baby face. Like, Mr. Crockett had like the moon face guy, but then like in the evil version, he was like a zombie face in the moon. Yeah. It's like,
That was cool though.
I like those touches because they, you know, because it's all practical, weird puppetry stuff. Like, you know,
it was very Two-Face, very, very, you know, it was cool.
So they get down there, and this is where we find the origin story of Mr. Crockett, and we find out that Alex was one of the kids, and
he was the kid. He was the
kid. Yeah, he was the main kid. And then
and he's like, I came back for you, and Mr. Crockett's like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
You're a gross old person.
Which is kind of creepy even at that point too. Like, he only wants children. Like, it's like,
well, he wants innocence. He wants purity. He doesn't want them to be corrupted. Right. And this guy's an adult. He's been corrupted.
Yeah.
It's too late.
True. Like, I like that you see that, like, he, in his origin story, like, he was like a comic kind of actor thing trying to make it, and like he never did.
Yeah.
Until he got the show.
And the crazy thing is like he actually doesn't hurt the kids. He is actually taking them away from abusive situations. He's doing it in a bad way.
Right.
He's murdering the parents in front of the children forever, tormenting and scarring them, the deepest of traumas, and then abducting them and brainwashing them into being happy little minions with CRT screen eyes.
Yeah.
He is protecting them from abusive parents. He's going about
I know it's that weird thing, right? Like
the wrong fucking way. Like as a serial killer.
He's not physically hurting them, but he's doing a lot of other damage. It's kind of like Batman doesn't kill people, but like, what kind of life do they live after an encounter with him?
Yeah, they're eating out of a feeding tube for the rest of their lives.
Right.
I didn't kill him. No, but he may as well have. Like, goddamn.
He's wheelchair bound now. He can't walk or talk ever again.
Yeah.
But the kids don't see the monsters or anything because they're like in that trance.
Because they're in the trance of the show.
They see the show.
Reliving the show, yeah.
Yeah, but that fucking place is dark as fucking nightmares and fucking candy. That shit was crazy.
It kind of looked like they didn't age either. Like,
no,
kind of stayed stagnant for however because some of those kids were abducted a while ago. When they came back, they were just the same age.
Right.
Yeah, because she saved all the kids at the end. And like, but that's the weird thing too, is like some of these parents are dead. So where are these kids going?
Yeah, you brought them back.
You save them for foster care.
Yeah, which the foster care system is terrible. Like, damn, like that's fucked up.
Okay, but there's your sequel. Now you're following these kids that get tossed into fucking these terrible foster care situations, and all they're trying to do is find Mr. Crockett. So these kids go hunting for that.
Well, I mean, look at how crazy Alex was for Mr. Crockett. Like, he spent his whole life trying to figure to, get back to him. So
there's a lot. I think this is a cool concept with a lot more to explore. And I wish we would have gotten more shots of the monsters, because what we saw was cool, but it was
not
really
enough.
Dark and shadow. You got him kind of coming in from the side of the screen, and the way that he got killed, like he got cut in half somehow. I forget.
Yeah, he crayon.
She swiped him with the crayon, with like the purple crayon.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then, but he's still alive.
His hell crayon. Remember how he got his hell crayon? Like he fucking like sliced his wrist and shit in hell, and then he fucking made a fucking magic door, and then made like a fucking whatever the hell that cross
pentagram.
Yeah, pentagram shit. Like it was so cartoony and very picture pagey. It was kind of like, oh, okay, well that's weird, but okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting the picture pages right there. Like, it was so picture pages.
I would have loved for Jordan Peele to pull some shit off like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like it's almost there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it wasn't creepy enough. Like, maybe it was too bright even in his area. I don't know. Like, there was just it felt like it was almost there.
It was very generic in many ways. Like, it was just like kind of like it didn't have a big budget. So it didn't get the out of it, the fucking creepiness out of it.
But I could see it. Like, I could see it. I'm like, oh man,
you're there.
Oh, you're so close. Like, this could have been one of the greats, and it still could be, a part 2, I think, could really ramp things up, especially if they spent a little more money on it. I don't know. It's one of these Hulu originals. We're probably never going to see anything from it again, but it's a cool concept. It really is.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, I do think people should check it out. I really do, because there's some interesting.
Got high sidekicks here, We liked it.
So, all right. Well, that is it for Mr. Crockett. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Please comment if you saw Mr. Crockett, and let us know what you thought. So that is it for tonight. This is Lil.
This is Sean.
And this is Steve. And until next time, everybody, keep it creepy.